Hi everyone, Susan Campfield here with SueStampfield.com. Welcome to my stamp room. Come on in. We're going to create together. Yeah, it's going to be, it'll be interesting. We're going to make a fun fold card together. This is based on a card I got in the mail, and I had a couple requests to make this one. So we're going to give it a go, but I decided to try something different. So Mary, I sent you some adjusted measurements just a few minutes ago. So I hope that you got those. If not, it's okay. We'll just roll with it, right? We'll just roll with it. So thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You are absolutely making the world a kinder place with every card that you send. I don't know why my camera is so close. My head's cut off. Hi. So we're going to dive in tonight. A quick reminder that I have a free project sheet that's going to be going out soon. I'm targeting in a couple days. So if you go to SueStampfield.com and click on subscribe, maybe Wednesday probably. We'll see how we go. But if these will match up with some of my videos, so if you'd like those, if you like a printable project sheet, you can go ahead and subscribe at the SueStampfield.com for those. And let's make that go away. Oh, this is scary. I don't know what this card's going to look like, you guys, but we're going to figure it out together. I know we do. We always come up with great things, right? So let's do some experimenting. Let's dive right in and start creating. So I'm going to go to my desktop here. There we go. Crooked camera again. Oh my goodness. All over the place. There, let's try that. That looks pretty straightish. Let's slide that out of the way. All right, how are we looking? Are we looking good? Am I hidden all the messiness? Maybe. Okay, so I got a cute card in the mail. This is from Betty with an E on the end. Let me see what her last name is. Betty Hayden sent me this card, and I call this a buckle card. But when I was playing around with it, I realized that it's more than a buckle card. This part was it's actually an accordion buckle card. Now she had used dimensionals to tack this down. You can see I cut them off because I was curious if we could change this up a little bit and have it be where this part does open out all the way. So should we give it a go, you guys? I want to adjust the measurements and have my plan is, here's my plan. Let's see if we can make it happen. My plan is to have the buckle slot back here because that will actually be holding that accordion card closed. One of the things with accordion cards, sometimes they're bouncy and they're hard to keep closed. So this would be kind of a good solution, I think, for that issue. So let's see if we can figure out how to do it. How about that? Yeah, beautiful card from Betty. It's just gorgeous the way it is. So we're going to change it up a little bit and we'll see what we come up with, right? So we're going to be using some pretty in pink, some basic white. We're going to be using some pretty paper. Although we could actually, so I'm all over the place, you guys. It's been a busy day. Let me just grab this paper. So this is the unbounded. Well, that's not very much in there. Hold on, I've got more of that paper. Let me grab this. Well, I've got a full unopened pack, but I also have, yeah, if I like a paper, you know, oh, I did, okay, it's this one. So we could do that. Ooh, boy. Petunia Pop or Pretty in Pink. Both good choices. So, all right, we're going to have to be voting. We're doing some voting tonight. But this is the Unbounded Beauty, I think it is. Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. And it has all of the ink colors that were introduced last year in it. So Summer Splash, Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop. What are the other two? I don't think it has the, let's look on the back, Sue. It says right on there, Peach Pie? No. Oh, it has Shy Shamrock in it. Yep, Summer Splash. Was it Peach Pie was the other one? Yeah, I think Peach Pie. So we're gonna, yeah, my brain is going a mile a minute here. So I think I'm gonna go with a white card base. Let's see how that works out for us. So, so got some Pretty in Pink fans in the comments here. This is actually Pretty in Pink, I think. Actually, it's a little bit different pink. This could have been maybe the original Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink was a color that when Stampin' Up! Came out with their very first colors in 1998, I was a demonstrator, I signed up in 97. Pretty in Pink was one of our colors that we had. And it was a great color, and a really great color, and I was so happy to have it come back as an in color this time. So we're going to go ahead with a white card base, and I think we'll use do I use white or pink? White or pink? Let's try white, and I think we'll layer with pink. Let's go, or either should go with Pretty in Pink to celebrate. Oh, there's a pink full moon, Nancy. Well, how cool is that? Is that tonight? I did not know that. It's a little cloudy here in Minnesota. Not terrible, but it was partly sunny today, but there are some clouds, so I don't know if we're going to be able to see it here. All right, so I'm going to start with my card base, and this is the part that I changed. Debbie's asking if it's Flirty Flamingo. Oh, you mean the one that's this cardstock on this one? No, Flirty Flamingo is quite bright. It looks like Blushing Bride. Maybe? Yeah, it could be. It could be Blushing Bride. Yeah, you might be right. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here and we're going to score this. Now, this is the part that is experimental. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to try... Wait, that doesn't look right. Yeah, that is right. Okay, I'm going to try scoring it at 1.5 inch. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it at 1.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it around here. Well, no, I don't have to turn around. I'm going to score it at 4.25. It's in the middle. Like, either way, Sue. Either way will get you there. 4.25. Okay, so now if you want to know what Betty's card was, I can totally tell you that. That was this one was scored at, let's just pop it in here and see, 2 inches and then 4.25. So slightly different. We're also going to make our buckle a little bit longer to make this work out for us. So I've got that scored. Let me, while I'm at it here, I think I will cut my buckle. I think I want the buckle to be white. I want the buckle to be pink. All right, I'm going to wait on the buckle because I don't know what I'm doing yet. All right, let's go ahead and fold this accordion style. So the 4.25 score is a mountain fold, and the other one, that 1.5 inch, is going to be a valley fold. And we just say mountain and valley because when you hold the card at the side, you can see a mountain, you can see a valley, right? So let's go ahead, and you guys think it might be petal pink. I don't even remember what petal pink looked like. Could be. It's definitely pink. And let's go ahead and close this up and crease this. Petal pink is another retired Stampin' Up! Color. Isn't it weird how like I have a color memory is a weird thing. Like I think I remember a color, and then when I see it, I'm like, oh, that looks totally different. So we've got this accordion fold, so you can see it's a little bit different than Betty's. I've left this part wider because my thought is that that's where the buckle closure will be. If I put the buckle closure here, it will somewhat hold it closed, but this part will be bounced up, which is quite likely why this was tacked down. So, and then we'll also be able to see more. We're going to put some pretty paper back here, and we'll be able to see it more because of that extra spacing. So let's try that. So we're going to do, what size is that? So, and I changed this like literally right before I went live. Layer under the front flap 2.5 by 5.25. I don't trust my math on that one. I'm just going to double check, you guys. I'm just going to double check that. By the way, shout out to our wonderful moderator, Mary Nass. I'm going to add in, she put in the measurements on that first one on what we scored at here. So yep, this one, yep, 2.5. 2.5 by 5.25. Yay, it looks right to me. Excellent. Okay, so thank you, Mary. Now I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And now, moment of truth, guys. Which way are we going to go? Are we going to go Pretty in Pink or Petunia Pop? Let me know in the comments which way you want to go on that. Pretty in Pink or Petunia Pop. And while you're voting, I'm going to cut, what am I going to cut? Let's see. I'm going to cut a piece for the inside of the card, and I'm cutting it in white, and I'm going to do a layer under it. So this is 4 by 5.25. This is to go inside the card, but because I went with a white card base, I'm going to want to do a colorful layer under this. So I just need to know what color we're going with. Oh, you guys are way ahead of me. Pink, Petunia Pop, either, both, Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, one of each. Oh, Petal Pink is still in the subtles? Oh. Why am I blanking out on what Petal Pink is? Okay, anyway, oh yes, Petal Pink. I was thinking of a totally different pink, a brighter pink. No, Petal Pink is more peachy than this, I think. Yeah, I don't think that one's Petal Pink, but it could be the Retired Blushing Bride. Okay. All right, I'm seeing votes for both. But there's a few more. I think pink might have edged out into the lead. So let's try it in Pretty in Pink, and we're going to see how we go. And we might, I don't know if we're going to get 2 done. We'll see. We'll see how we go here. So I'm going to cut my Designer Series paper at 2.5 by 5. Now, if you didn't want to use designer paper back here, you absolutely could do an embossed panel like Betty did on hers. She used the Fern embossing folder. That one is retiring. I also wanted to remind you guys that in the new catalog, cardstock is going up in price. It's going up from what is it right now? $11.95 a pack? $11.50 a pack? Whatever it is, it's going up to $14. So it is a really great, I've been stocking up. I just placed an order yesterday, and I'm stocking up on my cardstock, and that is a really good idea. So there is the Pretty in Pink. Just for giggles, just for fun, let's look at what Petunia Pop would look like. Obviously a brighter color, right? 5.25. Thank you, Mary. This is the and it's actually not the front flap, it's the DSP, because I would call this the front flap, right? So it's the DSP under the front flap, if that makes sense. Is 2.5 by 5. Thank you so much, Mary. Here's what the Petunia Pop looks like. Also nice. I think Pretty in Pink. Okay, so let's set this one aside, pop it out of my way, and now I also want to get a piece of to layer on here, and this one I'm going to put cardstock behind it. So now that we've decided that we're going Pretty in Pink here, we're going to cut a layer piece to go under that very front flap. Okay, so layer on the front flap. Look at the right thing, Sue. 1.25. Oh, Mary, I'm all over the place tonight. So let's see, this is 5.25 inches right there. 5.25 by 1.25. All right. right, sorry, I'm one of those days where I'm looking at my measurements like 10 times before I cut anything because I cannot be trusted today. All right, so that's gonna go on there. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see that. And then we're gonna have a little piece of designer paper on there as well. Yes, it is a huge price increase. A lot of the paper mills that make our high-end cardstock that's dyed all the way through without a white core have closed or switched over to making other products like toilet paper and paper towels that are more popular, right? And more people need. So the mills have, and their costs have gone up for raw materials. So they passed that on to Stampin' Up, and Stampin' Up absorbed them all last year before the new catalog came out, and now they have to pass them on because that's what responsible companies do, right? So, all right, now I'm looking at this. Yeah, I think that works. We could certainly do a pretty in pink layer back here if we wanted to. I don't know if we have to. All right, while I have my pretty in pink out, I'm gonna go back to that inside piece. Where did I do with it, you guys? Oh, found it. Oh, we have our first found it of tonight. So we play a little game here because I am, as you can see, a very messy crafter. And I lose stuff all the time. So when I find it again, we all say found it and we take a sip of our beverage. Let me know what's in your cup tonight. I have basic, no, I don't have basic white in my cup. Oh my gosh. I have ice water in my cup. You might think I have something stronger, but I can assure you I don't. All right, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go 4 1/8. 4 1/8 and measure. Oh, I just cut that wrong, didn't I? Dang it, Susan. What are we gonna do with me, you guys? This one, yeah, I just messed that up. It's okay, I'll be using that for something else. The layer, which Mary does not have this dimension because I was thinking of doing the cardstock base in a color, and I changed my mind on the fly here. So this layer piece for the inside of the card, ooh, sparkling water, that sounds good. That's what I should have had, is, let me think, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And that is going to go on the inside. Now, you certainly could make this smaller so that it matches the same amount of border on this. We're going to have this card, whoops, Susan, they cannot see the card. All they can see is the paper trimmer. Let's move it around. I talk to myself all the time. So we've got a skinny layer, a skinny border here. We've got a wider border here, and we've got no border there. We're kind of doing all the things here, right? But if you don't, you know, I don't know if I like that. That's bugging me. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw in a white layer under this. Oh my goodness, we are off script now. Woohoo! All right, let me do the math, guys. Let's see. DSP on the front flap was 1 by 5. So if I add 1/8 of an inch to that, that will be a good layer. Let's do it. 5 1/8 by 1 1/8. Butterfinger Blizzard, no fair. I want that. That sounds delicious. All right. Okay, and then I've lost my pink layer. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm adding stuff in. We're adding some stuff in. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. All right. I love layers because I think it just really adds a professional flair. I'm still going without a layer on this one, but you can change it up if you want. I thank you, Mary. I'll absolutely need to show the measurements at this end of this video, and thank you for reminding me. You're probably gonna have to remind me again, and I'm gonna have to add some to it. So let's just do that. We're gonna show it right now, and I'm gonna add stuff to it, right? So what did we change, you guys? We added a second layer. I have the ugliest handwriting. I do apologize. Second layer on front flap. That is so messy. Oh my gosh. Is 1 1/8 by 5 3/8. All right. And then what else did we add? The inside panel, we added a layer inside at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. All right, let's see what else we can change tonight on the fly. I told Mary I was winging it. I have a crazy busy week here. Our April is my my team, my Stampfield Stars team. We have our meetings, so they get a special Crafternoon packet just for them. And so yeah, there's I'm in up to my neck in cutting those, and then my customer Crafternoon packets are also going out. Crafternoon, if you're not familiar with it, is my monthly class. I'm going to cut my buckle now. Do I want it in pink or white? Crafternoon is my monthly class. And if you place a qualifying order in my online store for $50 in Stampin' Up! Product, you get a packet the next month to make our special fun fold card with me in the video. So if you missed out here on April, no worries. You can absolutely get in on the May Crafternoon Fun Fold. I am needing to stop talking and measure this. This is the buckle, and it is 1.5 by 4.5 is the new and improved dimensions. 1.5 by 4.5, and we're going to crease this at 4. All right, just gonna give that a score. Shaking the whole desk. All right, so I've just got it scored. This is our buckle piece that's gonna hold our card closed. And I think white is the way I want to go on that. So, okay, so you'll notice that I'm not putting any parts of the card together, because before we do that, we do need to kind of think things through on this. And so we need our buckle needs to be hidden. I mean, it doesn't have to. You could stick it on the back if you forget to stick it in here. But if we tuck it back here, it can be kind of hidden behind that. It just makes it look a little bit nicer, right? And then before I can stick this down, I need to die cut my opening into this. So let's go ahead and take a look on, let's see, I'm gonna go in here. I seem like I have excess stuff that is going to confuse me, so, and that is not hard to do tonight. So I'm going to slide that out of our way, just kind of clean things up here, and we're going to start tacking things down. So I am going to start with cutting my buckle, I think. Let's do that. Oh, so nervous. Okay, let's bring in the die cutting machine here. And we're going to cut a slot. Now, Betty, I think she used an old retired punch called the word window punch, unless it was longer than that. It could be a die that was that. Actually could have been a die. I've had some dies in the past that match that shape. So either way, I'm going to use something similar, but slightly different. I'm going to use the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. Let me know if in the comments if you have this bundle. I know it's been super popular, super duper popular. Now let me pull it out. It doesn't want to come out of the sleeve here. It's a big die set. You can make butterfly shaped cards. There's cute stamps that go with it, all the things. We're going to use this die to cut our slot, and we are going to decorate it with some butterflies. So let's take this, and I'm going to cut my slot kind of over here. I want to make sure that it's going to show. Let me bring in my card again. I'm just kind of testing it out here. I want to cut it. Obviously don't want to cut the slot in the card because I want it to hold it out closed. So I think I maybe want to push it over just a little bit more. So that's probably about just in case you're a measurement kind of person. I'm about 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch in from the edge here is my goal. So I'm going to center it from top to bottom and have it in about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch-ish. Doesn't have to be exact. And somewhere I have, found them. Well, I found one anyway. Ooh, getting low. I'm going to found my sticky notes here, and I can tack this down. And let me just make sure I feel like I'm a little bit high. Does that look about centered, you guys? You can't see the bottom, so you can't tell. I think that's about centered. We're going to stick that on there. And I just realized I'm right-handed and I have my crank on my left. That is not going to work for me. So I'm going to spin this around. Let me know in the comments, are you a righty or a lefty? My sister Ann is left-handed and I am a right-handed person. So there we go. Let's see. All right, let's go here. You have it, but you don't use it. You haven't used it enough. Yes, it has an embossing folder, and the embossing folder is a hybrid, so it works with the dies. So let's take a look at this. So we now have a nice big slot for our buckle. Let's go back to here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on to my card, and let's test it out here. I kind of guessed on my buckle length, so I want to make sure that it's going to be able to tuck under there. That looks about right. It's just gonna catch under there a little bit. So let's stick this on. So I'm going to put adhesive at the top here, and on this long side, and over here, and then just below, I'm going to leave this part loose. And then I can put some adhesive just above and below that buckle because I don't want that pulling up. All right, let's try that. This is a total experiment, you guys. Total experiment. All right, this is how great cards are made, right? By just trying out different things. All right, so we've got that. That's stuck on. Let's go ahead and layer these together on the front. I got behind on my comments. Okay. You're righty, but you use your mouse left-handed. That's cool. Kind of ambidextrous, is that what they call that? All right, so I've got that stuck on. I just love this paper. It is so pretty. And this one is, it's not on the last chance list, so this one will be going online. Lisa's ambidextrous too. All right, so we're sticking this on. So again, the designer paper here is 1 inch by 5. We added a layer behind there that's 1 1/8 by 5 1/8. And then our pretty in pink piece is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that panel is going to go right on the front of our card here. So let's stick that on. You would not have to layer this. You could have just gone with all designer paper on this layer piece. Totally fine. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to stick these two pieces together. I don't know what I want my card to say, so I'm going to live dangerously and do my greeting later. And let's just pop that on there. This is our 4 by 5 1/4 inch basic white, and then the pink piece was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And that's going to go in here, but before I stick it in, I want to attach my arm to it. But I do want to make sure that I get it in the right spot. Because if I don't, if I get it too high or too low, that is going to cause an issue, right? So how do I want to do this? You could mark it with a pencil, like that would work. I am just going to hold it. I'm going to stick it on here, make sure it looks about right, and I'm just going to hold this with my hand and pull it out and then stick that on. So let's put some adhesive there and tack that down like so. Flappy, flappy, flappy. And now this is going to go inside the card. All right. All right, let's get this all this gooey. Lots of adhesive on there. All right, why is this here? We don't know. We don't need this here, Sue. Get it out of the way. Okay. All right. We will need it back in a minute because we're going to decorate our card, of course. So let's see. This accordion buckle card that we're making, inspired by Betty's creation. And now let's, moment of truth. Is my buckle going to reach? It is going to reach. Okay, so that's going to hold it closed, and then we're going to layer some things on here. All right, so we've got our buckle base there, and it's going to open up so you can see that pretty paper on the inside. And like so, now you absolutely could decorate this too. That would be cute, right? Totally up to you. All right, we're gonna tuck this back in. I feel like I could have gone a little bit farther to the right with my slot, like maybe, and then I'd have a little more room here for tucking this in. And I don't think I can make this much longer because it would show. But I feel like I could have shifted over a little bit. I centered it, but I could have gone a little bit to the right. So, all right, we want to do butterflies. Time for some butterfly fun. Since we're using the beautiful butterfly label, we might as well. It's always great when it works, right, Lynn? And when it doesn't, it's a learning opportunity, right? So we're going to do a butterfly on here. I had a thought. Let me see what you guys think of my thought. I was thinking a shimmery butterfly might be fun. What do you guys think? Let me grab this. This is the glimmer paper. I've now stuck myself. I've adhered myself to the packaging. Good job, Sue. This is the Pretty in Pink. So this is, what's this called? What's it called, Mary? 2024 to 2026 in color glimmer paper. And this is the Pretty in Pink. It has, you know, the petunia pop. Had we gone that direction, would have been super, super cute. And let's go in here and in here and in here. And let's grab this. Yes, on the shimmery. Heather and I are on the same page. Shimmery it is. Heather and I have decided we're in a mood for some sparkly fun. So let's bring in our pretty paper here, and we're going to grab this. Now there's double butterflies here. I'm going to just do one of them. I'm going to stick that on there. And then we could do a butterfly body, and this might be weird, but I'm going to try black cardstock for the butterfly body. I have a piece of black cardstock here that's way bigger than I need this much. And I have this huge piece, so I'm just going to literally take a pair of scissors and chop out a chunk of this. You know, when you're doing die cutting, I don't always give measurements for that because I know what you should do when you're die cutting smaller pieces is use your scraps, right? It's a perfect opportunity to use the scraps, and we all have scraps, right? So let's go ahead. Deb said she's had lots of learning opportunities. Yeah, true story, right? Me too, Deb, me too. I can relate. All right, let's crank this through. And let's see, I may not like having the black, but pink and black is super cool. My grandmother, my dad's mom made quilts, and when we reached a certain age, I don't remember what age that was, we got to pick the quilt we wanted. And the one I picked is pink and black, and I still love it. Let's see, hang on, let me find it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, found it. Got my die brush with my take your pick tool with the die brush attachment, and I'm just going to clean out my butterfly here with those extra bits and poke it out of the die. I have used these butterfly dies a gazillion times because you always need, okay, there's our glimmer. That's really shiny, isn't it? Shiny, shiny. And let's try, All right, what do I do with the, oh, found it. Take a sip, everyone. Got double found it. So we found this, we get a sip for that, and we found our butterfly body right here. All right, we're gonna try that with the black. Okay, so I'm going to grab, what are we grabbing, Sue? We are gonna grab a circle punch. Actually, 2 of them. So this is the 1 3/4 circle punch. And I'm gonna punch out a white circle. And then I have a 2-inch circle punch. The circle punches are just a great thing to have in your crafting stash because they're just so darn useful for everything. And we're going to see if this will fit the bill for the front of our card here. Now, if you have circle dies, like the Spotlight on Nature circle dies would be really pretty here. Lots of options there. And then we can add our little butterfly right there. What do you guys think of the black? We could change it. Let me see. Let me show you what a pretty in pink circle behind there goes. What that would look like. Let's change that out to pretty in pink. See if the black might be a bit much. Right there. Let's see. Okay, so that's with pretty in pink. Which one do you guys like better? Which circle do you like better? The pretty in pink one or the black one? You don't have to do the black butterfly body. We could go pink on that too, and we could just add in fact, you don't even need to do the body on this. It's totally up to you. Black circle looks a little stark, a little harsh. Yeah. Did my quilt have a name? I think it's just a straight up patchwork quilt, not any kind of super fancy thing. But it's, you know, it's special to me. So, okay, we're gonna go back to the pink. You guys are in agreement that the pink looks nicer. I feel like our buckle's a little boring. I'm wondering if we need to add some designer series paper to our buckle. Let's see what that would look like. Pink. Okay. All right. You guys are in agreement that pink is good. I think the black butterfly body is okay. We can try it with pink. I just think it might disappear a little bit, but we can try that. Let's see. If I was going to put a layer on this, you see, it's just, let me hold it up here so you can see. So there's the edge of the, whoops, my lights are so bright. There's the edge of the buckle, and you can see it overlaps about an eighth of an inch, which is a little short. That's why I was saying I wish I had done my opening a little bit farther to the right. If I was doing this card again, I probably would slide that over a little bit. But it works. It does hold it. So there's that. That's a win. All right, let's measure this. Let's measure this up. Because I had that piece behind it. It should be 4 inches, and it is. All right, and it was 4 by 1.5. So if I put a layer on this, poor Mary, she doesn't have any of these dimensions because Susan is just making this up out of the top of her head. All right, where did my paper? Oh, found it. Take a sip, everyone. I have tracked down my paper trimmer, even though I piled a whole bunch of stuff on it. I'm going to cut a 1 1/4 inch by 4 inch piece and see, would basic gray work for the butterfly body? A gray body would be nice. Okay, black's a little stark. All right, I gotcha. I hear ya. Let's give it a try. All right, so I'm actually going to put this piece on here. I'm going to do the full length. Usually when I layer something, I do layer all the way around. I'm going to stick it on fully because I think it'll be good to make that buckle a little bit thicker, and it almost sticks over a little bit, which will be good. I could use a little more length at the end of my buckle. Could always stick something on there, I suppose. That would be a possibility. All right, let's try that now. Tucking my buckle in under the edge here. There we go. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Oh yeah, the flap could have been embossed. That would have been pretty, doing an embossing on there. I went with the designer paper, but you're absolutely right. We could have done an embossed layer on there. Okay, we're not sure. The black body is getting a no, so let's try something different. Fortunately, I have 2 butterfly bodies, so we can cut 2 at a time here. All right, would this look weird? Let me look. Hang on. This might be weird. Petunia pop would be the wrong way to go, right on the middle. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, all right. I just yeah. Maybe peach pie. But someone mentioned gray, so let's give that a go. One moment, please. Let me find some gray. So we've got 2 grays. We've got smoky slate, which is quite light. Smoky slate, which is quite light. And we have basic gray, which is a bit darker. Which one do you guys think? Somebody is asking about rounding the edge of the buckle. I do not have a punch. We used to have a corner rounder punch. Maybe you still do. That's what Betty used on hers, was a corner rounder. She used it here as well, which looks really nice. I don't have one anymore. So, the dark pink glimmer paper. Let's see, silver foil body. Ooh, ooh. What is the name of the Pretty in Pink Designer Series paper? It is called Unbounded Beauty. Unbounded Beauty. I almost said the wrong thing. So, let's see. Smoky slate. Blackberry body is harsh. Bigger butterfly. You use pink. Black for the butterfly body. Seeing lots of options here. Okay. We're going to try smoky slate and let's see here. We'll try one of each, the light and the dark. All right. Let's put you over here, and let's bring this back in. Whoa. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's grab this. Whoops, wrong way, Sue. Basic gray. Some of you like the Petunia Pop idea. It's a very purpley pink. Let's try each of these and see what these guys do for you. Close this up. Pop it out of my way. Okay, let's crank this through. All right. Janine says darker gray. Alright, crank that through. And let's take this off and see what we think here. This one's stuck in. So sometimes you just drop your die on a table, the thing will pop out. Not always, but I got lucky there and it did. Alright, let's give it a go here. So we've got our circles. I'm going to stick those together. You could certainly emboss this, could do an embossed circle on here. That would work. And then I'm going to grab this. And here is the, oh gosh. I might have to turn this light off. It's so bright. I don't think you guys are even going to be able to see this glimmery, shimmery butterfly. There it is with the gray. Let's bring our card back in here. That's the basic gray. It is definitely softer than the black. It does look quite nice actually. And let's try the smoky slate here. Yeah, I don't think we're getting enough contrast with the smoky slate. I would just probably do Pretty in Pink if I was going to go that light. So I'm going to go with the basic gray. And let's pop that in here. Jean says she's still waiting for my $1 million set. Yep, still waiting on that one. All right, we're going to take our the back of our butterfly body here, and I'm going to put on a little multi-purpose liquid glue. This holder, I don't think I've showed this one yet. This is from the Country Hive, our friend Ashley over at the Country Hive. It was actually a gift from my team member Rachel Tessman, also my roommate at Onstage. Yeah, super cute. Okay, I put way too much glue on there. Oh my gosh, can you guys see how much glue I got on that? That is totally going to ooze on me, so I am going to grab a little scrap of cardstock. Fortunately, I have those boatloads of those, and I'm going to just scrape off some of that glue because I don't like oozy glue. Not a fan. It will. If you do want enough that it's going to stick to the glimmer paper, because glimmer paper is basically like, oh, my butterfly flew away, you guys, is basically like sandpaper almost. It's very rough, right? Now I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add a mini dimensional on the back. Let's grab that. Grab our little mini dimensional here and pop that on. All right, I'm going to shift my, oh, it's really sticking good. All right, good. And we're going to pop that on our card here. Now I'll probably stamp my greeting inside in basic gray because Pretty in Pink is a fairly oh, Susan, you didn't stick it on. All right, we're going to pop that up too on our little arm here. Where is my... You want to see my dimensionals because I got my minis. I can use those if I have to, but oh, come on, Susan. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of creating and there's a big pile of stuff over here. All right, I'm going to cheat and grab one out of the drawer. I just had it, like, seriously, right before I started the video. It was in my hand. All right, hang on. All right, I got more. It's no worries. No worries at all. Let's grab this. And we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. I just don't want them to stick out over the edge, so I'm actually going to put them right on the buckle like that and stick this on. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. We'll pop that right on here. Now you absolutely could do a second butterfly. This one nice thing about this die set, it has 2 butterflies and 2 bodies, so that you could put another butterfly inside the card. That would be kind of fun. So I'm going to flip open our buckle, and there we have our card on the inside. Now this again would be really pretty to do a layer on there. When you're trying to figure out what the layer size would be, you're just going to measure the space. So this is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and then you're going to make your layer. Usually the average or the typical is to do it a 1/4 of an inch smaller. So if you were going to do that, it would be 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. With this one, you might want to add an extra layer in between there, and that's more in the 1/8 inch range. Totally your choice, right? Totally your choice. So I'm going to flip my buckle under there. But hey, it's kind of fun. Betty, if you're out there or you're catching the replay, thank you so much for inspiring us. I feel like we need a little bling. I feel like we need some bling. Hang on. Now, this is how I... We got a random butterfly body stuck in there. That does not go in here. This is how I store my scraps once I cut into my 8.5 by 11. Obviously, I look behind me here. This is how I store the full sheets. But then when I have scraps, I use these sleeves. These are from Stamp and Storage. and they're really great for holding all my bits and pieces. And then they're in hanging folders inside a drawer. I used to just having them right in the hanging folders, and they would slide out. They would get all chewed up and dog-eared, so this helps protect them. Okay, I was going to put on some bling. I told Mary some bling, but now I'm thinking the bling I picked, which I don't even know where it went. What did I do with it, Mary? Oh my goodness, Susan. Oh, it's right over here. I got it. Nobody panic. Originally I was going to do this because I was thinking we're going to do black, but now I don't think that works at all. We could do the white, but I'm thinking we should go maybe pink and sparkly. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what kind of bling we want to put on here. We also need a greeting. Let's just go with, hang on, I'm looking. The stamp set I was, found it. Okay. We'll use Unbounded Love. This is the one that kind of goes with this paper, so we'll just go with that. Yeah, these are the neutral matte dots, but there's no gray in them. Well, we could do the white. Excuse me. Spring allergies are rearing their heads here in Minnesota. It's finally spring, and that's a good thing, right? But the downside is the stuff in the air. All right, I'm going to do happy birthday on the inside, and let's see. All right. Can you tell how much I've used this happy birthday? I've used it a million trillion times, and it's turned red because I've used it so much for a lot of pink. All right, I'm seeing iridescent, pink and sparkly. Okay, hang on. Now, these are new. We could use a new thing. What do you guys think about that? So this is coming, customers can, hey, this matches my nails. I just noticed that. Anyway, this is coming May 6th. Unless you're a demonstrator, this is part of the pre-order. These are Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And they have, there's also clear in here, but they have gold flakes in the middle. And so it's harder to see on the darker ones, but I don't know, can you see the gold? You can see it when you're in person, but these are really pretty. And those would match our card. So that would be one option, one possibility. But we also could go, let me pull out some options. We could go with the In Color Shimmer Gems. In Color Shimmer Gems are also pretty in pink. They don't have the gold in them, but they have a lot of sparkle to them. Lots of pretty and pink options. We've got, now these I think are retiring. These are the In Color Resin Dots. They're matte. They don't have any sparkle. You think the Strawberry Slush would be nice because it's a little bit darker maybe? Let's see. Now you guys are going to say this is boring, but we could go with one of our classic standbys, and that is the rhinestones. So let's just see what those would look like. I need a visual on this one. I can't tell by just holding it up how that would look with the gray there. It does add some extra blingy sparkle to our... Fonda says she doesn't write in the spaces that show in white. You block them off using Post-it notes. Yeah, that's a good point. So you... I don't like to do that either. I don't like to have my inside words show. So what Fonda's saying is that you could put Post-it notes here just to mark where you can do the greeting. What Betty did is she actually signed it over here. So, so that is a really good tip from Fonda before I stamp my greeting. Now my words might be covered up. I think the buckle would cover up my words if I stamp them in the right spot. So maybe my sticky notes would be a good, you think that the Gail Beth likes the rhinestones. Some of you think it gets a bit lost on the gray. And it's okay, right? Everyone has a different taste. This is when you're making your handmade cards, it's art, right? So you get to decide what is attractive to you. And then the beauty about making handmade cards, you're not just keeping your art, you're sharing it with other people to make them happy, to just brighten their day. And that is a beautiful thing, right? Now we could also put the rhinestones out side of the butterfly. They don't have to go on the body, and then they would show up a little bit more. Now ignore my post-it notes here. That is my my little tool that thanks to Fonda's suggestion for making sure that I get the greeting in the right spot. So I'm going to grab the basic gray ink pad. One moment, please. Basic gray ink pad. All right, I've got getting some votes. Here's some suggestions, still getting suggestions on our, is that inky enough? I don't know. Inking the heck out of that thing. All right, is it straight? Let's find out. There we've got our happy birthday on the inside. Now I can peel away this. And if I wanted to sign my name, I'd do it over here. So the post-it notes are telling me where the edge of my card is. Oops, I moved it. I'd want to sign it over here, or I would probably maybe just sign my name here and then write a message there. But this part of the greeting is going to be covered up by that arm, right? I kind of like the rhinestones. Let's give those pretty and pink gems a go though as well. And I am really glad that I didn't glue this down. Well, obviously you wouldn't want to because it needs to be able to slide under there. So that's been helpful to be able to close the cards. So how about tiny gems on the butterfly antenna or head? That would be really tiny, right? Actually the smallest rhinestones are pretty dang tiny, and you could put them on the antenna, ends of the antenna, the little balls on the end. Let's check out these new gems here. I am really liking I like the rhinestones off to the side because it is kind of picking up on that gray. And if you're a person that likes to do things in threes, you could throw another one on somewhere, maybe over here. That's not the right spot. Maybe up here. If you wanted more balance there. So I kind of just liking it with two. I've been on a kick of two gems lately. So the happy birthday stamp is your favorite. I know, Gloria. I just love that font. It is just absolutely beautiful font, right? And I did get it over. It's not centered at all. And you know what? That's okay. It's a handmade one-of-a-kind item. And we can't make it too perfect or they'd think that we bought it in a store, right? So we got to mess it up a little bit on purpose, guys. Let's try a couple of the new pretty and pink gems just to see what they look like. If I put them on the body, they just disappear. That just doesn't work at all because they are kind of translucent, it's like see-through-y. But just to show you what they look like, right there is cute. You could also put some actually back here. That would be kind of fun. But I'm going to go with the rhinestones, you guys. I am. But I love these gems. These are going to be, I'm going to be using these a lot. So they are called Strawberry Slush and Pretty and Pink Gems. And they're coming out May 6th. They're part of the new online exclusives, actually. They're not pictured in the new catalog, but they are coming. So there is our card. Oh my goodness, we got there in the end. Didn't we, Mary? Mary was probably wondering if we're ever going to get there. Let's go back to this hot mess. Yeah, oh my gosh. Susan, seriously. All right, hang on here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what else we added. We added a layer on the buckle, didn't we? Oh, this is so messy, Susan. I'm embarrassed, you guys. DSP on the buckle. DSP. Oh my gosh, that is so messy. All right, 1 1/4 by 4. Not 4 feet, Sue, 4 inches. You guys. Yeah. I think that those new gems are part of a new suite that has beverages like cocktails and such. It's really, really cute. So I feel like I should just like type this up really quick, you guys. Talk amongst yourselves. If you need to go, take your screenshot. If you don't, give me a minute and I'll look nicer, okay? Like, let's see. This is assuming that my printer decides to work because it's really moody. Second layer on front flap. All right. Let's try that. Hang on, I'm getting there. Second layer on front flap is 1 and oh, wait. Second layer on. Okay. Front flap 1 1/8. It's not good if I do it wrong, right? Inch. Okay, I got that. Now let me get this one. Layer inside 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 4 1/8 by 5 1/8. All right, and then just one more. The DSP on the buckle. Because you guys will never be able to read this. It's so messy. And that is 1 1/4 by 4. All right, let's try that. File print. Cross your fingers. Let's hope it works. Hi, I'm back. How are you? I'm waiting to hear if my printer is in the mood. Oh, I heard a click. I heard the wheels going. This is a good sign. This is a good sign. 4-foot cards. Yeah, that would be that'd be a little big, wouldn't it? So yeah. Okay, let's grab this. And all right. Okay, this looks so much nicer. All right, and here are the measurements for our card. If you would like to take a screenshot, I need to zoom out a little bit, don't I? All right, when I zoom out, you're going to see some messy on my desk, probably. But there we go. All right, so there are our dimensions. A huge shout out to Betty for inspiring us with her card here. Super cute. And again, just know that you can do the buckle like Betty did in the front and just tack this part down, or you can see if that would hold too. And you got lots of options, right? So finally we got there. We made it. Woohoo! I am going to flip the camera and everyone got their screenshot. Fantastic. Let's go here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Somebody asked me last time to show Mercy and I didn't do it. Let's see. Can we get Mercy in this shot? So I don't know. Can you guys see her? Let's see. Now you're gonna see stuff on my desk. Let's move that. Can you see her? She's her head is down here. She's conked out. Do you say hi? Yeah. She's having a snooze. She's just too tired. So, all right, let me tilt this back up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will be back on Tuesday night at 7:30 Central Time. Looking forward to creating another card with you then. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.